welcome! Welcome to Sea Duckling Open number 129. Our monthly used to be Diamond and below tournament, but now it's more specific. It is 4.2k MMR and below tournament. And we are already in the first series of our tournament, at first best of 3. And without further ado, we are on Dynasty, and in the bottom left corner of Dynasty we see the first of our players. It is from Australia, previously known as ILikeTrains, but here on NA he's known as Llama. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Terran player from the United States. It is known also as Volarius, but here it's Senna. There you go. And we already start spicy, as we already have barracks across the map from Senna. Only one barracks despite sending 2 SCVs, now making the second one. The barracks are not in the scouting path of the overlords, so it will be a while before Llama will see them. Look, I feel weird calling him Llama just because we have another Llama in our community already, who is Smile Fuego. So we can't have 2 llamas, or can we? It looks like we have a total of 3 barracks from our Terran player going right across that golden mineral wall of sorts. At the same time though, ILikeTrains is ready to start his own trains, as he's actually not even getting a second hatchery at all. He's going straight for the pool with the banelings, so there will be straight up baneling bust. Actually the Zerglings got into the mineral line of the Terran player. I didn't even notice that because there is no wall and the Zerglings just went straight in. Normally Terrans, when they proxy, they do have a wall, but not this time. Yeah, so the Zerglings just went straight in. Most of the mineral line has been destroyed, but most of it, not all of it. A few SCVs have been saved in the command center. The command center cannot really land, but there are some marines across the map, but without any mining, Senna actually cannot make more marines. Like, these 3 barracks are completely useless because of that, because only one of them can be producing. Now the marines go in. There is a queen to defend her, and the drones surround the marines, and yeah, this is not looking great for Senna right now. The Zerglings have also found the spot where it was proxied, where the barracks were proxied. Although the barracks, of course, are on the other side of the wall now, so the Zerglings will have to go through the Zerg base to get there. Meanwhile, Senna is playing a game with the Zerglings on his own side of the map, where he has to land the command center across the mineral line every time the Zerglings rotate. There are only 2 SCVs, and this is a command center. This is not an orbital. We're just working with 2 SCVs. And still some marine production is happening, not a lot of it though. Meanwhile, the ILikeTrains still not expanding and going straight for a lair. I guess for baneling speed? Question mark? Now the Zerglings are getting to the barracks. A few marines don't stand a chance. The proxy will finally be denied. The last of the SCVs has been killed as well, so there's literally 0 supply for Senna right now. And with that, GG is called. What a crazy start to the tournament, to the series. And ILikeTrains, also known as Llama, will take game number 1. Meanwhile, a shout out to Doom of Malantai, who has resubscribed with Prime for 3 months. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting our channel, for letting us continue to organize these tournaments. What else has been happening in the chat? I have missed a lot. The liking of trains was not strong enough. Oh boy. So somebody in the chat asking whether the streamer is from. I am in fact from Poland. So if I have a bit of an accent, that is a Polish accent. Probably. I mean, who knows, right? At this point in the world, we are all a mix of different accents. I have learned, like, after finishing, like, you know, formal education of English, I found out that there's just, you know, there's the proper English and then there's the internet English, which is just a mix of everything from every part of the world. So we are currently waiting for the second map to be picked. As a reminder, the way the map picking goes, I guess that's how I would call it, in these amateur tournaments, is that the first map is predetermined. The first map is on the bracket, meanwhile the next maps in the series are picked by the loser of the previous game. And looks like we have one now. We have the map. Okay. Yeah, that sure was a way to open the tournament, huh? Just straight up 3 triple racks from the Terran side, meanwhile no expansion pull into Baning Nest from the Zerg side. Like, both of them just went full on aggressive. So let me... Oh, this is very dangerous, but let me do this. I made it. There you go. Okay. We have loaded now into the second map of our series, and it is Ghost River, where in the top right corner we have the first of our players. It is the Green Zerg player from Australia. It's ILikeTrains, or Llama. Meanwhile, on the left side of the map we have the Blue Terran player from the United States. It is Volarius, or Senna. I'm being told in the chat that the clan name actually is just Clan AXS. Look. That's what I found in the game. Well, we can just call it that. We can just call it that. There you go. It is a well-polished accent, at least. I see, I see. Polish history is wild. Polish history is wild. I have to agree. No matter, like, Yeah, Polish history is wild. We've had a lot of history of various kinds. Ooh. Wait a second. No. Oh my god, where is Yaku? This is an eBay first from our Terran player. The Zergings get in because there is no wall, but eBay first. Oh, because this is a planetary. That's why. And it's about to be finished, so these Zergings are actually in trouble. That is so crazy. Unfortunately, the planetary does not reach the wall, so this SCV will be going down and the barracks does not finish. But yeah, this is something that Yaku used to do. Yaku used to play eBay first. What a series. And yeah, and we. Wait, what is this? What is this upgrade called? I'm blanking out. But yeah, I believe this improves the range of the planetary, so it would be able to protect the base farther. I don't know if it's gonna reach the ramp though. I think that's a bit far. Well, actually, if it's reaching here, then maybe, but it will not be fast enough to save the barracks. That is... wow. Well, the factory was saved. It was put down before the barracks went down, so we do have a factory. We also have a lot of Zerglings in the base though. And the high-sec auto-tracking just barely finished, so this eBay has done its job. Meanwhile, once again, we have no stops, no breaks from the train on the other side of the map, as Llama is going for Baningness into Roach War and no base. So, still both of our players keeping the aggression. But the Banings are now ready, and the Banings should be able to get it up. Although I say that the SimCity is not bad. We have a bunker on one side, and this factory is also snuggled to the command center, to the planetary. So it won't be that easy for Llama to get in, but he will sure try. These SCVs are already quite low. The planetary is shooting down the Banings, but not all of them. 2 of them get in, and 7 SCVs go down. We have a single Marine who is now in the bunker. That is our fighting course. We also have some lag. Hopefully it's not too bad for the players. No! Senna is timing out! Oh no! Okay, I'm gonna pause.
Game paused.
Yeah. Because it looks like Senna is having some connection issues, so... make sure first that it's at least somewhat stable. Then we can continue. I just don't know anything anymore. Look, sometimes these games, especially on the diamond level, sometimes these games do get crazy. And I'm saying diamond level. To be fair, I'm not sure what ranks are these players exactly. As you know, Light is the one looking into the ranks, so I will only be able to see them after the tournament because I don't really have the time to look into that. But yeah, it's possible that at least one of our players can be a little bit lower in the ranking, and you know, especially in like spaces like Gold, it's like crazy strats. But now let's see. Let's see if we can get Senna back into the game. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we have a bit of technical difficulties. So we'll try to sort it out and then hopefully get back into the game. In the meantime, I wanted to point something out. As I mean, we have a moment to look at the bracket. Hopefully the bracket refreshed on my thingy. There you go. So I wanted to point out that while we may be casting this side of the bracket with Senna and ILikeTrains or Llama, there's also the other side of the bracket with Yaku Zaku. Yaku of the Zaku is playing currently versus Tricky, versus an Australian player. And I'm pointing that out because Yaku in fact is streaming his POV in the Discord in a channel available for our Twitch subscribers, YouTube members, and Patreon supporters of $5 and above. So if you are interested in watching the first person POV of Yaku Zaku as he is playing currently in this tournament, then make sure to check out the channel on Discord. But in the meantime, we will go on a short break. We will try to sort out the technical difficulties, and as soon as that is sorted out, we will be back. So stay tuned. Oh. I didn't realize the scene switcher actually switched already. Anyway, welcome back to Sea Duckling Open number 129. Unfortunately, Senna did drop out due to technical issues. The internet did disconnect for them and they were not able to come back. Just, you know... Okay. Which is sad, but unfortunately we have to move on. And we move on to our next series. It will be between these two players, as the predictions are now open, or I guess they are closing because we do have 2-minute delay. And we are on side Delta, where in the top left corner we have the first of our players. It is the Grizzerg player from Australia representing Clan Axis. It's Llama, also known as ILikeTrains. Meanwhile, across the map we have our Protosterian. Protosterian? What? Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is also from Australia, representing a dear to our heart, Clan All In. The All Inspiration. It is Ice. For those who don't know, Clan All In, the All Inspiration was one of the first of our memes, because we had Lumia back then on All In also competing in our tournaments, and Yaku was really struggling with reading the clan name for some reason. So yeah, like seeing Clan All In always takes me back. But anyway, it looks like once again ILikeTrains is gonna start aggressive, as we already have links going across the map. We have a wall from Ice though, so is this actually a full wall? I believe this is a full wall. I think Ice doesn't have a scout, right? So he just assumed this would be happening, I guess. I mean, we have seen ILikeTrains going aggressive in both games before, so it was to be expected. This Zealot unfortunately is on the outside of the wall, so it will be... Yeah, it will be going down to the Zerglings, but the wall is solid, so the rest of the Zerglings won't be able to get in. We still have this probe hiding over here, so I have to keep an eye on that. More Zealots are being produced, but this gateway is starting to get low. It is being chrono boosted though, so will it be able? Yeah, the Zealot does finish. I don't think the Adept will though. Yeah, and perfect defense there for Ice, as he does seal that wall as soon as the gateway does go down. But this is the second part of the plan from ILikeTrains. We have Banelings already getting prepared. This will be a Bane Bust. Oh, and this gateway is very low, but the Banelings go straight in. They take the gateway and the pylon, so no reinforcement will be able to be made by Ice. The Zerglings get in, and this is all we have right now. The two Zealots and an Adept, and they will all be going down. And like that, GG is called. ILikeTrains takes game number 1. Very fast. ILikeTrains just has no chill. Absolutely zero chill. Full aggression. Okay, so I have to keep up with the chat because chat has been, obviously, you know, chat has been having a discussion as we were waiting for our technical difficulties to be resolved. I say, if you guys like SC tutorials, you guys totally should do some audiobook reading instead. I'm thinking, I don't think I'm really good at reading aloud. I'm not sure. I do like to voice act a bit. Like, not like full on professionally, but whenever we play, whenever I play in general games on my stream, I generally try to like read the text and try to voice act it a bit, even though I'm not very good. So that is a thing. But I don't know if I would go for a full on audiobook. Okay. Let's quickly introduce our players, because as we have seen, this may be a quick series. As here, in the bottom left corner of Crimson Court, we have the first of our players. It is the Green Zerg player from Australia representing Clan Axis. It is ILikeTrains or Llama. Across the map we have the Red Protoss player from All Inspiration. It is Ice. ILikeTrains being a bit cheeky, starting a bit of a chatter. And what is this? Ah, the probe is here. But what is this? Is this a hatchery first from ILikeTrains? Crazy! He didn't actually go for a pull. So yeah, it looks like we will actually have a full proper game this time. I mean, I say proper. We will have a longer game than 5 minutes. Maybe. Potentially. We'll see. This natural base was of course blocked by the probe. So ILikeTrains was forced to go for that forward hatchery. The probe is still hiding in the base, by the way, so whenever Ice does need a scout, he will be able to get in, probably. Although this overall will see it, so ILikeTrains may decide to clean that out. Respond to a question in chat, when is the next one of these? Once a month. And yes, Sea Duckling Open is once a month, and so is Master Zone Open, so in effect we have an amateur tournament every 2 weeks. It's just that it's different. The max MMR is different for those two, but we have an amateur tournament here every 2 weeks. And fun fact, here's the thing, we will actually have 2 Sea Duckling Opens in November because of how the weekends worked out. So actually, the next Sea Duckling Open, I believe, is 30th of November or something like that. Like it's like one of the last days of November, because that's just, you know, when the bi-weekly would be landing on. So, unlike usually, we will have 2 Sea Duckling Opens this month, but we will not have one in December due to that, because, you know, 4 weeks later would already be like the Christmas season, so we won't have a one in December instead. But yes, if you are interested in competing in our amateur tournaments, we have an amateur tournament every 2 weeks. So, you know, keep an eye on our social media or join us on Discord and you will be notified when that is open. As we have an oracle from our Protoss player this time. I mean, I say this time we are actually able to start a game, so that's also an important distinction. ILikeTrains has still not taken a third base. That natural is still not there. He's also preparing a lot of Zerglings and Roaches. The Oracle did actually spot this and will be coming back home to help with defense. The Adepts are protecting the wall, but they can only do so much. Ooh, actually the probes are being pulled off the line and they are going across the wall. But there's a lot of Roaches in this army and more Zerglings are coming in. 6-7 probes already dead and more are falling as well. ILikeTrains is getting into the base, the shield battery is under fire, the other one is overcharged though. And with 2 oracles, this attack is being held, but it's not being stopped yet. Like, there's more reinforcements coming, but I don't think ILikeTrains can actually get into this base. Now have Stalkers added to the mix as well. And 2 shield batteries are protecting the Zealot in the wall. The Adept in the wall, my bad. The 2 Oracles are out of energy though, so they are not helping in this defense. But it looks like the Zerg forces are, you know, slowly thinning out. And yeah, Ice holds this. So this committed attack did not work out for Llama, for ILikeTrains, and it looks like he will be going for that third base and transitioning farther. Getting his Evo chambers. Getting his lair as well. And now we have an attack from Ice. We have 3 oracles, but keep in mind that they don't have a lot of energy, so they will not be able to, you know, to fight for a very long time. The Stalkers and then the rest of the Gateway army are joining in as well. And the Roaches are not ideal for this fight because we have so many oracles, and when there's 3 of them they can actually focus Roaches down, and the Stalkers are pretty protected. But again, these oracles are running out of energy. They will try to snipe this queen, barely do not get it, but the Stalkers finish the job. But now the oracles are out of commission. More roach reinforcements are coming in, so the Stalkers should be dealt with eventually. The oracles have moved back home, so Ice is also aware that this attack does not have a bright future. But still, 6 drones did go down, so that's a pretty good damage there. Ooh, Ice is mining out this mineral wall on the other side. I mean, it's definitely a safer location as no rocks have been destroyed yet. So the Zerg won't be able to access the third base of the Protoss very easily. Ooh, and actually gets right into the stasis ward there, so yeah, all these roaches are chopped except for one which will be going down. And Ice has a lot of time to get ready for this attack. I don't think these roaches will be escaping. And stasis again. Meanwhile ILikeTrains is transitioning into Hydras. I think roach speed as well, so we will be seeing more roaches still. And I do wonder if he is transitioning into lurkers later. There is no lurker then yet. So it may be just roach hydra for the time being. In the meantime though, Ice's army is getting stronger. There are a lot of stalkers now. We have a single voider as well and more coming. Charges on the way, which will also be quite helpful about against this roach hydra army. There will be some zerglings in the mix as well, but regardless, that does look pretty good for our Protoss so far. Looks like the orcas are once again sneaking in. Maybe we'll get into the main base instead this time. There is an overlord, so ILikeTrains will be alerted to this. Or, you know, alerted maybe is not the good word, because obviously they don't attack the overlord, so you don't really get an alert. But he has a chance to see it, potentially. Storm is on the way as well, so that is another upgrade, another ability that we may see in use. Although I don't think there are any High Templars on the map quite yet. Yeah, there aren't, so they are not able to charge energy quite yet. The Orcos find a little bit of a nuke in this third base, but one of them does go down to the Hydras. 5 drones do die though. And this Link Roach Hydra army is getting ready for another attack, but there is a lot of gateway units here waiting, as well as an Immortal, as well as those Void Rays. So we'll see how that goes for our Zerg. At the same time, he is expanding into the 4th base, into the 4th hatchery. He doesn't mine out the mineral walls and just goes for the front base. But now the attack has started. We have Storms blanketing the Hydras. And it looks like ILikeTrains decides to move back. Oh, the army is tagged by the oracles. It was very close there for them to be sniped by the Hydras, but they were saved. Hello? Hello, hallucinated immortal. Yeah, this army has a lot of High Templars and they don't have a lot of energy, but they have been slowly charging it. Also, I will change the logos mod, don't worry. This logo will be changed. I just didn't quite have the time. I always remember it when I'm already in game. And then during the series the games are really fast. So Ice is moving up the round. There are mostly Hydras in this base. Some Zerglings are coming in to help, but the Hydras are very squishy. The Roaches are coming from the back, as well as some more Hydras, but they are being blanketed with Storms. The Protoss army is surrounded though, so it's not an optimal position to fight. One of the Void Rays does go down, and the Immortal is pretty low as well. The Stasis does definitely help though, as some of the reinforcements are being trapped. Now the Hydras do join in, but they are being chased by the Zealots, and oh, unfortunate move there, as they are actually chasing the Warp Prism, I think. But the Zealots are making short work of a lot of the drones. 13 already going down, and more Zealots are being warped in. The rest of the army is fighting here at the second base, I guess, of ILikeTrains. 18 drones down. Roaches are reinforcing the front lines, but they are coming in one by one, and the Zealots are able to deal with most of them. The hatchery does go down, and the Protoss army is moving forward. Force-feeding the ramp, so the reinforcements from the main base are not able to join in the natural. Still more Zealots coming in. Dark Templars are joining here as well. Another hatchery goes down. The 4th base has gone down as well, so now ILikeTrains only has one hatchery. All the roaches are joining in now, going down the ramp, but that's not enough. GG is called, and we are going to the ace match. Now let me see if it breaks if I change Logos mods with game open. If something explodes, that is why. I see somebody asking in the chat, did Zerg not see the toss flag effort? And the answer is no, because I did take that ferret behind the wall of the minerals, the wall of the rocks. And ILikeTrains has never destroyed any of those, so he was not able to get into there, and I don't think he had an overlord there either. So yeah, I don't think he was able to scout that third base from the Protoss. Yes. You know, Ice used the map to his advantage. And it looks like we have our third map. And welcome to Oceanborn LE, as we are now loaded into the map, and in the bottom right, corner of Oceanborn we have the first of our players. It is the Green Zerg player from Australia representing Clan Axis. It's Llama, also known as ILikeTrains. Meanwhile, across the map we have the red Protoss player from All Inspiration and Australia. It is Ice. Actually, let me check something. There you go. Fixed. It looks like once again ILikeTrains is starting with a hatchery first, but also once again the natural is denied, so we're going for that unnatural natural there for that third base location. So hatch pool gas after that. It looks like we'll once again have more proper of a game. I guess ILikeTrains has gotten like all the cheesing out, you know, in the first rounds, in the first map of the series as well. And now he decided that's enough for the day. It's time to play proper games. And we'll see how that goes for him. Ice was also able to expand because he did scout that the Zerg will not pose much of a threat for the time being. probe still hanging around the Zerg base, and it will not now be destroyed by the Zerglings. So no more scouting for ice for now. And once again, Ice chooses to go for a Stargate, the Stargate that is in the wall as well. So it should be plainly visible for ILikeTrains if he chooses to go to that wall. And I assume that will be once again oracles. Dwellers are moving out now. At the same time as the Zerglings come in. Actually, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, there's nothing in the wall itself, so the Zerglings would be able to get in. And while they may not be able to kill a lot of drones or a lot of probes, they would at least get a lot of information about what is going on, about what is and isn't in the base of ice. So there are no shield batteries actually in range of the mineral lines, so yeah, if ILikeTrains got into the base, he could do some damage, but now the Adept is there and that is no longer a possibility. At the same time, the Adepts are killing some drones, 3 in total already going down. But the Adepts will be focused and 4 drones will be the final number in this harassment. Oh, that's an interesting spot for a Roach Warren. Not quite where I would expect to see it. First Oracle is coming into the unnatural natural and actually getting some drones there despite the Queen being there, but there was no Spore and 5 drones, 6 drones already going down. That is a lot of damage. I mean, this Oracle is pretty low as well, but 7 drones is totally worth it. Also, I see that the logo did not update, so I will have to restart the game after this. We have a second Oracle now as well as 2 Adepts, and that will be a lot of more firepower there for Ice. Adepts are going into the unnatural natural, meanwhile the Oracles will be diving into the natural third. What have we done to the language? Adepts are going down without getting much done though, but the Oracles are able to get quite a few drones. They will pay for it with their lives though, so 6 drones and both Oracles going down as well as the Adepts. Yeah, bit unfortunate. But I mean, still some damage. Clean masquerades. Oh boy. Nice. He's able to get his third base. Also, I don't know why, but I keep wanting to call Ice Ace. My brain is struggling. And we have a first Immortal for Ice as well, so that may be helpful in the next stage, because we did see the Roach Warren from the Zerg and there are upgrades as well, so that will definitely be something that ILikeTrains wants to commit to for the time being. Hydra then is now on the way as well, so once again it should be some kind of Roach Hydra based army. Meanwhile, Ice working on charge, working on those Immortals, still getting more Oracles. How many does he have? I mean, he did lose 2, so I guess he has to remake them if he wants that, you know, 3 Oracle hit squad. For now though, looks like he's just using this 1 Oracle for more of a positional tool. Getting those stasis out. At the same time, ILikeTrains is able to take a 4th base as there is a bit of a, you know, calm period. I'm still so confused by this SimCity, honestly. Because not only are those buildings in the front, so it's very easy to lose them, but also all the units of ILikeTrains have to go around it. Like, they cannot really pass through here anywhere, so... Yeah, that's very interesting idea. Single Oracle is trying to get something done, but it's mostly here for scouting as it's not able to get into the bases. I'm not sure if the Hydras themselves were seen. It's possible that Ice did see them, but it's hard to say really. Oh, as we looks like we have a bit of an Immortal drop. Just one. No, sorry, this is a Disruptor. Oh, I didn't notice that Disruptors have already started. Oh boy. Ah. Oh, I already feel bad for the Zerg. Yeah, I don't think ILikeTrains does notice, and 4 drones will begin. I mean, 4 is not the worst, but still 4 drones are going down, and Disruptor just disappears into thin air. Although at the same time, Zerglings do get into the base of Ice. 14, 15 probes do go down, as both in the natural as well as the main. And even though the Zerglings are eventually dealt with, like 18 probes is a lot of damage. So very nicely done there by ILikeTrains. As Ice was more focused on attacking with the Disruptor, he was able to, you know, to get into the base to gain some advantage. At the same time, ILikeTrains is getting a Lurker then, so we will be transitioning from Roach Hydra. This will not be the same composition as last game. This is not PTR. This is the regular current patch. We will be playing on PTR tomorrow though, so if you want to check out what the games look like, or you know, sign up yourself, there will be a PTR tournament tomorrow open to all regions and all ranks. Ooh, the Disruptor shot! And it takes down quite a few of the Hydras. Ice definitely being quite cheeky with the Disruptor. We have a 5th base for the Zerg. Ooh, a lot of Lurkers are being currently morphed. We'll see how Ice is prepared for the Lurkers. I mean, he has Storms. Has the Storm finished? Hold on. I'm just pressing things. Yes, Storm has finished. And there are some High Templars in this army, so Storm definitely should help with the Lurkers. But a lot of the army of Ice is ground-based, so he has to be careful about how he approaches the Lurkers. A few more drones going down to the Disruptor drop. At the same time, ILikeTrains is preparing a bit of a run-by in the top side of the map. Close to the 4th base of Ice, but it is quite well fortified. Big chunk of Zealots going across the map as well. So Ice will try to put some pressure on. Ooh, the Hydras actually do find the War Bridge, so it's not able to drop the Disruptor anymore. And it is being recalled. The Zealots find the fresh hatchery from the Zerg and should be able to take it down. At the same time, the Zergins are trying to get into the 4th base of the Protoss. But with all these shield battles here and the Zealots, they should be stopped. I say should, but we'll see. Yeah, it looks like there is enough Zealots with the help of the shield batteries. The hatchery did go down across the map though. More Zealots are being sent. The army isn't quite here, as at the same time it is fighting the Disruptor on the other side. And this base is in danger. But the reinforcements are here and the Hydras are able to join in as well. And I mean, 18 drones still did go down, so the drone damage is massive here. But the base will be saved. But another squadron of Zealot is coming in. This time in the top side. The Lookers are here to try and defend, but the drones will be going down regardless, and Ice does focus them. And of course, I mean, the Zealots themselves cannot see the Lurkers when they are burrowed, so they can't really target them either. 36 drones going to the Zealot round base. That is a lot of drones. And at the same time, Protoss is double expanding. The Dwarf is back once again with the Disruptor. Oh, but looks like the Vipers have finally found it. Maybe? Question mark? It's just on the edge of vision. Yeah, I sees the Vipers and decides maybe that's not the best spot to drop. And the Warpiece looks like will be taken, and so will be the Disruptor, so this is the final end of this drop. At the same time though, we have DTs working on the Lurker then, and it does go down. So no more Lurkers will be able to be made, but I mean, I don't know if ILikeTrains was really planning to do and to make any, but this fire is going down as well, so the transition for ILikeTrains will be stopped. Hydra then going down too, so yeah, a lot of tech going down for the Zerg player. More Zealots coming in as well. And Ice does not stop on the harassment. There are more Zealots coming. I assume that the DTs will be there soon. But at the same time, Lurkers do go for one of the fresh bases of the Protoss, and they should be able to destroy it completely. Although we have some Disruptors here. Ooh, 4 Lurkers going down straight up. Very nicely done. And we reached the point where Zerg is mostly a Hydra army. ILikeTrains has 39 Hydras, 3 Lurkers, as a bunch of them just went down to a Disruptor shot. We have some Vipers, which is really nice. But yeah, this is mostly a Hydra army. There are actually no Roaches in this army at all. Like, we got rid of all of the Roaches. So while Hydras are pretty good, they're also incredibly squishy, so... yeah, we'll see how this army fares against the Protoss, as we have a full-on Protoss army coming in. We have a Colossus here, we have a lot of Storms available, we have Zealots. Yeah, the Storms are now blanketed. Ooh, the feedbacks on the Vipers as well, perfectly executed. Yeah, the Hydras just melt to the Storms as the Protoss army moves forward. Finishes off the Vipers. There are a lot of observers here as well, just in case there are any Lurkers, but there are not, as the Lurker then is still being remade. The last of the Hydras are going down. More Immortals are just, you know, coming in for reinforcements. Oh, but we have Hydra reinforcements here, and they actually deal with this part of the Protoss army, but this is not all of the Protoss army, as I actually did send some of it home. So now these Hydras will be going for a counter-attack. We have a lot of Zealots here. We have some Storms available as well. But not much else. 2 Immortals in the back. Nice Storm there, but it looks like some of the Observers were sniped as well. A lot of Storms are landing on those Hydras, and there are more Zealot reinforcements. In the end, the Hydra army is stuck here between the Zealots and the Storms, and it is eventually defeated. Okay, well done. We have some clowns in the chat. You're welcome. Ooh, but now the carriers are here. The air transition has started for the Protoss. Mothership is on the way as well. Meanwhile, ILikeTrains is trying to morph in some lurkers. And they will be nice against the ground army, but not against all of the carriers. The Hydras should be able to deal quite nicely with the interceptors though. All of the High Templars have been morphed into Archons. Ooh, but the lurkers, they walk straight into the Protoss army, unfortunate. And just like that, GG's called. Ice will be taking down the series and advancing to the next round. So GG to Ice, and congratulations on moving to the next round. And also, I mean, ILikeTrains has been holding on for quite a long time. Didn't look that bad for him, so GG's. And as a reminder, forget lower bracket. Yeah, as a reminder, we have double elimination today, so we still have a chance to see our players later on. We still may see ILikeTrains. Yakuzaku is also waiting for the series to finish, so that's also another thing. And let me put the scores in. Yeah, it looks like ILikeTrains will be playing versus Yakuzaku. Actually, let me show the bracket on stream. So ILikeTrains is now going into the lower bracket to play versus Yakuzaku. Meanwhile, we have our own series in the upper bracket. It will be Captainfisch versus Ice. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick break, and as soon as I'm back, we will have our next series, so stay tuned. Be right back. Welcome to Sea Duckling Open number 129, and we are now in the upper bracket finals of our tournament, and we are looking in the top left corner of Oceanborn, where we have our blue Protoss player representing all the inspiration in Australia. It's Ice. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Terran player from Germany. It's Captainfisch. Yeah, we had a bit of a scout here from ice. He's now being dealt with by our Terran player. And looks like we will be getting a regular game from our players, nothing too out of ordinary. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, Captainfisch is definitely one of the favorites of this tournament. We have seen him play in quite a few of those before. And I consider him quite a good player. But we'll see what Ice can do, because Ice has been going pretty well as well in this event. As the Reaper is moving out, the probe does... the probe is able to actually go around and come back into the base of the Terran, but there is a Marine there to protect it from the scouting. Meanwhile, Captainfisch checking out the Protoss base, sees the natural expansion and is able to get into the main. He's also able to see this robo being made currently. So, Captainfisch getting all the information he could possibly get right now. Meanwhile, at home, he is going for the command center before the starport. The probe is still trying to get in, but it is denied by the Marine. Also, it was flying quite a while away. And yeah, looks like we will be just getting into a macro game from here on out. Meanwhile, we have a Robo Bay on the way. The question is that for Colossus or is that for Disruptors, as we already have Warp Priest on the way as well, so I wouldn't put it past Ice to just go for a Disruptor drop again. While our Terran player is still being up, still going for the 1-1-1, and we are adding more barracks, so we will be seeing bio this game definitely. There are also a few Widow Mines, but it doesn't look like they are offensive Widow Mines, they are just there for defense, and they are being spotted by this observer from Ice. So he is aware of what is happening. Ice also decides to take a third base as everything is rather chill for the time being. And the Disruptor is finished. The Disruptor drop will be going across the map, and while the Widow Mines may be protecting the front, the back of the natural of the Terran is actually quite undefended. Oh, hitting the SCV. Yes. Oh, I'm so curious how much damage this Disruptor can do, as at the same time the drop from the Terran is going across the map. It's just a double Widow Mine drop. So the Widow Mines are actually not here for the defense either. Now, where does the Disruptor land? Oh, it is in range of the tank, but it's not enough, and still 5 SCVs will be going down. At the same time across the map, the Reaper is poking at the third base, and the Widow Mines are coming in, but the Stalkers are already here and prepared. The Reaper is being dealt with. I see chat is having fun. Steam is about halfway done for our Terran player. Oh look, we have the duck now. I did it! Yeah, we have that observer giving a lot of information to our Protoss as it's able to see this entire area as well as like the forces that are being set up. But oh, this time these two Widow Mines did actually unload, but I don't think they did all that much damage. Yeah, all the probes were pulled and actually no losses there. Or no probe losses. Maybe the Stalker did go down. It's unfortunate Captainfisch does not seem to notice that observer. And even though he is setting up a nice pre-split, it's very visible for eyes. We have charge on the side of the Protoss. Fort being added, so we'll be getting some more upgrades for these units. And upgrades is something that the Terran is also getting. Combat Shield just completed. Concussive Shells is on the way as well. +1/+1 too. This Raptor drop is still going around, still trying to get something done, but not being able to get too much. And Captainfisch is trying to hunt it down. Trying to find that War Prism. Maybe snipe it, but isn't able to do so far. And once again, this Observer is at the MVP of this game as Ice gets all the information about this move out from Captainfisch. He knows exactly how many tanks there are, how many Marines. Ooh, that was close. That could have been a big shot on the army of Captainfisch, but he does snipe the Disruptor. What do we have on the side of the Protoss? We have a lot of gateway units. We have one Colossus, one Disruptor. We have 3 tanks on the side of the Terran and a lot of bio. There are no shield batteries in this fight. The Protoss is going forward. The tanks are being dealt with. One of them still remains, but now the bio is moving forward, is steaming in. All of the gateway army is going down. The Colossus is the only one saved, and it is being juggled with that War Prism. But it is also very low. Another Colossus joins in. Oh, Captainfisch really wants to finish that one Colossus. It's so low, it is in the red. One tank is left alone and it is being dealt with. Now the reinforcements for the Terran are here, but those are bio reinforcements. We have Ghosts in the mix now as well though. This 4th base for the Protoss will be going down as it is being focused. But we'll see how far Captainfisch can go from here. Ooh, nice EMP on the entire Protoss army. The Colossus finally goes down, but there are so many Zealots here that are attacking straight into the bio. Eventually they are being dealt with, but with a lot of losses to the Terran. Now the Vikings are dealing with the Colossi and none of them remain. The Disruptor gets actually a little bit confused. More Zealots are being warped in. The Vikings are being landed to help with this fight. Oh, Captainfisch is trying to pull this army into the Widow Mine, but isn't able to do so. Nice Disruptor shot there landing. Another one is dodged, and both our players are just trying to make something happen with these small armies. More Zealots are being warped in, and they are charging forward. They are being EMP'd though as well. And with that, GG is called. Captainfisch will be taking game number 1. So GG. There was a very persistent fight from both sides, as both of them just refused to let go. Which, you know, it was a good effort. And in the end, Captainfisch just had enough to overwhelm Ice. And we have map number 2 already selected. Set up this lobby. Okay, our players are ready. We should be ready as well. What am I even reading in the chat? Anyway, welcome to Crimson Court, as still is the map number 2 in our best of 3 upper bracket finals series. And we are looking in the bottom left corner of the map where we have our blue Protoss player, representing all inspiration in Australia. It's Ice. Meanwhile, across the map we have the red Terran player from Germany. It is Captainfisch. Probe is on the way to scout. I saw that Captainfisch was looking at this side of the map for a little bit, but there is no proxy coming. Everything is back at home. Cheeky pylon in the wall to block that add-on from the Terran. Very annoying from Ice. Yeah, Captainfisch is forced into this very awkward wall because of that. Meanwhile, Ice decides for a very interesting SimCity, focusing all the buildings around the mineral line. Maybe for 2 gate into core. Interesting. I don't feel like that's common for PvT, but maybe I'm wrong. QA 50 minutes to get the same player. Yeah, that's Meanwhile, it looks like, ooh, Captainfisch is actually going straight for Marauders with concussive shells. Very interesting strategy, and actually, yeah, I don't know if Ice is able to spot the Marauders coming out of the barracks. May not be able to. Yeah, they are popping right on top of the building, so I don't think they're quite in vision of Ice. So he will be in the dark for quite a while before he is able to notice them. We have 2 adepts going across the map. I mean, the pylon is already finished, so it cannot really be cancelled. So if Ice wants to do any damage, he will have to destroy this wall as well. I like the Cyclone just looking at the pylon. Ooh, and Ice was waiting for that moment as he tries to get in, but he is being stalled by the depots. And actually is forced to recall the adepts. There's some beginnings of a wall on the ramp, but nothing is prepared yet. Meanwhile, Captainfisch is going across the map with the Marauders and a single Cyclone. Ice, meanwhile, is making a Dark Shrine. First of the shield batteries is finished. There are more coming, at least. Yeah, we will have 2 shield batteries. And now Marauders are going in. We have 4 Adepts for the defense, supported by the shield batteries against the Cyclones and the Marauders. Some probes are being pulled off the line to help as well. And yeah, the Adept is not dying. 2 shield batteries are enough, but that said, they are almost out of energy. One of them is pretty much out of energy. The second one is very close. Ooh. Captainfisch does find a Stalker that is not in range of the battery. But now the overcharge is on. And the Terran army, I don't know if that's a good idea to push, but still takes another Stalker, so that's nice. But yeah, now the overcharge is over, but now the TTs are here. And this push from the Terran army is done. Captainfisch has to set up at home, getting a bunker in the natural, getting combat shields, getting that 3rd command center. But he's not quite prepared for the TTs, and the TTs will be coming. The Adepts are finishing the last of the Cyclones. So, Marauder gets very adventurous and goes straight forward for the Adepts. Oh, the TTs snipe the Marauder, and the tank is sieged, so it's not able to deal with them. Now the CVs are in danger. The wall is a wall though, but just barely, as this depot is still being made. Yeah, and the TTs are getting straight into the main base. There are no units here, only the SCVs. Yes, I lost the ability to use mouse. That's unfortunate. And the Liberator will help with the defense against the DTs, but they are being split, so it's not too easy to deal with both of them. Captainfisch had to waste a lot of scans to deal with this threat, and 10 CVs did go down. Because the mining in the natural was non-existent during this time. Okay, I will have to fix my mouse after this stream. So for the best. Yes. Oh, interesting. Ice is actually going for the Shadow Stride. I think yeah, Captainfisch was able to see it with that Liberator, so he should be prepared for some blink DTs. Oh, that's ambitious. I don't think this Liberator will be here for very long. Meanwhile, we have another bit of harassment here, as actually Captainfisch is dropping some Marauders this time. Let's see how the drop goes as he unloads in the main base. Ooh, actually finds an Artosis pylon, and all these gateways will be unpowered. At the same time, the Liberators comes back in, but it is being dealt with by the Stalkers. And I mean, Captainfisch is trying to get into the mineral line, but is not able to with all of these gateway units. Ooh, actually the Medivac gets sniped together with the Marauders inside. We also have a small force from Ice waiting for the right opportunity to attack. Third base was being delayed by the Zealots. Honestly, at this point I feel like maybe Captainfisch should get a Raven, right? Because the deities are something that seems to be just, you know, a constant in the army. So we have the Zealot DT army coming in, but there is a turret here. And even though the bunker is destroyed, there's still a lot of Terran forces remaining, but there's more reinforcements coming from the left side. Scans are being used to deal with the DTs. And the third base is held, although it is still in danger. Oh, it's actually burning down. I don't know if it can be saved. It is being repaired, but there are more Zealots coming. The SCVs are being shot between the Zealots, and they are being shot at by the tank as well. So, yeah, very dangerous time there to be an SCV. And eventually the Protoss army will be dealt with, but that third base has been through a lot. Meanwhile, Ice is able to set up his fort, just starting that Nexus, or they saturated his third a while ago. That orbital is still being repaired. It looks like it will be up to full health almost. But we have another gateway army going across the map. And what do we have to defend? We have this Marine Marauder army. We have a tank on the high ground. But that is the only tank that Captainfisch currently has. Oh, that is blink forward, try to surround this bio army, but are not quite able to. And yeah, this attack actually doesn't do as well as Ice would have hoped for. Already this have been dealt with. There are Zealous reinforcements coming in. And that will definitely be very dangerous for the Terran. Captainfisch is kiting backwards, he's kiting to the tank, but his bio army is dwindling. But it looks like it's just enough to defend this Protoss, as the entire army is cleaned up. Ice, of course, is not finished yet. I mean, he has 4 bases, he's warping in more units. But again, it is purely gateway style. He does have a robo, but he's not really making anything out of it. He's focusing purely on a gateway army. And we have another wave already waiting. Yeah, another gateway army is ready to attack. At the same time, Ice is trying to take that 5th base. But the Terran army is slowly getting stronger. Now we have EMPs in the mix as well. And these Zealots are not quite as strong when they don't have the shields at all. The turret helps deal with the DTs as well, and now it's just the Stalkers and they are being chased by this bio army. Feels like Captainfisch has finally amassed enough to not be scared by these gateway attacks. and is now able to go for a counter. Setting up the Liberators on the ramp. Ice trying to warp in more units to deal with this, but the Impel lands, but only on some of the Protoss. The Bio is dancing here with the siege position. Another scan goes down to deal with the DTs, and they all go down. So that's one of the medivacs though. And I mean, this Bio army is not very strong and losing a lot of numbers, but it seems to be just enough to hold this position, to siege this base of ice. And the reinforcements are on the way. The Liberators, of course, help with the siege. The Widow Mines are about to reset, so there will be a nice asset as well. Now we have an Immortal in the mix, and it does tank one of the shots, but it does go down. 12 probes going down too. And another Protoss army is cleaned up, and that is enough. GG is called. Captainfisch will be taking the series 2-0 and moving to the grand finals. So GG, very nicely done there for Captainfisch. And yeah, with that he will be moving into the grand finals. We can take a quick look at the bracket and see where we're at. We update the score. Oh, and we have the next series already ready. So Captainfisch, of course, is waiting for the opponent in the grand finals. Meanwhile, we have in our lower bracket, ILikeTrains did beat Yakuzaku 1-0, and Tricky did beat Last Ketchup. Then Tricky beat ILikeTrains as well, and now we will have an Australian lower bracket final, which is Ice versus Tricky. Invite them to party. Go. So we're gonna set up for the lower bracket finals, and we will be right back after this break. But as we are going to the break, make sure to check out the Matcherino, because as a reminder, this tournament does have a Matcherino, and that's how you can support the prize pool of this specific event of Sea Duckling Open number 129. So if you want to, you know, throw a few more dollars to these players that you see in front of you, then you have an option to do so. Of course, it's not required, but it is greatly appreciated. But yeah, we're gonna set up this series and we will be right back. And welcome to Sea Duckling Open number 129. We are now in lower bracket finals of our tournament, and we are playing on Australia server. Also, as a fun fact, Blizzard claims in the menus that I have 18 milliseconds ping to Australia server. That is definitely not correct. But you know, that happens. Anyway, we are here on Dynasty, and in the bottom left corner we have the yellow Protoss player from Australia representing Jedi Knights. also known as Ninja. It is tricky. And across the map we have the other Australian Protoss, the red Protoss representing all inspiration. It is Ice. So we have a PvP on our hands. And doesn't look like too out of ordinary, but I say that and we have this. We are going for a cannon rush. A very, very tight cannon rush. I mean, there's not a lot of space here to work with. But hey, if it works, it works. And we have a second probe coming in. And this probe will be building on the outside of this wall. I mean, Tricky is desperately trying to take down this pylon, but it's this second probe that he really has to worry about. Pulling more workers off the line, getting that Zealot Chronos as well. But is that enough? I mean, there are enough pylons here to power these cannons. The probe is being chased away, but the damage has been done. The first cannon finishes, the second does as well, and Tricky has lost control of the ramp to his base. And, I mean, what can he do now? He made a second gateway, which I believe is in range of the cannons as well. The Zealot did not finish, or if it did, that it went down immediately. Well, Tricky decided to, you know what? You want to take my base? I will take your base. And just goes for the gold base. The gold base, I would like to remind you, of Ice. The scouting probe actually made a base right in the base of Ice. And that's why Tricky is still in the game. I assume he will try to recall the probes as soon as that Nexus is finished. But it still needs a while longer, it's only halfway done. I'm sure Ice is wondering why Tricky is still staying here, why is he so persistent, but he doesn't quite know what is happening across the map, as both his probes are here and the rest is just busy mining. Are you sure that you're not playing on Austrian servers? Right. And yeah, GG is called. Tricky decided that it takes too long to wait for the Nexus to finish, and Ice will be taking game number 1 with a cannon rush. Very explosive start to that game. Yes, as MJG? Is that how you say it? MJG? Post the cannon in the chat. But yeah, I have checked Captainfisch. I don't think those are Austrian servers. Okay, we have the second map. Chat is still being very confused by what is happening. I mean, look, this is what happens when players are having fun, okay? And to be fair, this is also my favorite way to play and to watch people play. It's just really like, you know what? Let's just be crazy, okay? Let's just do crazy things. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, at least you tried. I just realized that the screenshot for Oceanborn in the menus is actually, I think it's actually turned. I think it's a screenshot from like the side view. That is so bizarre. I'm so confused now. Well, anyway, welcome to game number 2, where we have the 2 Australian players facing up once again, this time on Oceanborn. And in the bottom right corner we have the yellow Protoss player, representing Jedi Knights. It's Tricky. And in the top left we have our red Protoss player, representing all inspiration. It is Ice. This time, both of them going for gateways. We will not have more cannons, at least for the time being. Ice a little bit faster with the scout, getting into the main base. But Tricky is also sending a probe of his own. This time Tricky also making sure that there's nothing fishy going on around his base. Scouting for the potential cannons or whatever other proxy Ice may be up to. So Tricky being extremely careful in game number 2. Ice is actually hiding the probe right in the middle of the map. Interesting spot. Looks like this time both of our players are going for the macro. We're getting the gateways, we're getting the cyber cores. Neither of them is expanding early. And yeah, looks like we're just gonna go into fairly regular game. The only difference so far is that I was gonna say that like one of our players went for double stack and one of them went for stock as sentry. But that is not correct, because Tricky has cancelled the sentry and is actually going for double stacker of his own, so really mirroring the builds right there. I mean, Tricky has a pretty good view of the base of Ice, as he was able to keep that probe there for quite a while. Oh, but Ice is ready for some proxying. We have a gateway in this location close to the middle of the map. As it is just a gateway, I assume it's more of a reinforcement point than anything. Ironically, this is a much better cannon rush map. I mean, look. Maybe Ice just didn't want to play Dynasty, okay? It's just like, you know what? I'm not doing this. As we have 4 stalkers from Ice going to the base of Tricky, but Tricky does have that sentry there to help out, and does have a shield battery, so that will be very important. As we said before, Ice does have a reinforcement point, and we will see more units being warped in. More stalkers are joining this party. Oh, Tricky is trying to maybe potentially expand, or maybe he's he's scouting for that proxy, but he doesn't quite see it. It's quite well hidden in those reeds. Once again, stalkers are walking into the main base or into the natural base of Tricky, and this shield battery, even with overcharge, it's trying its best, but it's very hard to keep all of these units alive, as Ice definitely has the strength of numbers. Tricky is also busy taking up. He's working on a Twilight Council. He's getting his Immortal out, but it's not out yet, and that's very important because the units of Tricky are going down. There's enough stalkers to just one-shot them, so the shield battery isn't actually able to help. Probes are being forced off the line to help with the defense, and they are buying time because the Immortal is almost ready, but Immortal alone will not be able to stop this army. It does need support. Immortal is now out, but the shield batteries are down, they are unpowered. The Immortal is being focused. And the Stalkers are marching into the main base of Tricky. Once again, probes are being pulled off the line for desperate defense. They're hugging the shield batteries, but there are no energy in them, no power. And Ice will be taking the series 2-0 and moving on to the Grand Finals. Having a very fast tournament today. A lot of very aggressive games. Yeah, GG. And with that concludes our lower bracket here. That was the lower bracket finals. Let me quickly update it on the bracket itself. Oh, very fast series. Very aggressive from Ice as well. And that means that we have our finalists. That means that Ice will be joining Captainfisch in that grand finals. And they will be fighting for the title of the Sea Duckling Open champion of this month. Also, as I'm just reminding the players, both of our players, because they are now in the finals, they will be getting some prize money, because both of our finalists are getting paid for reaching it that far. You can see it on Match Arena. And yeah, I will have to link them to Match Arenas to make sure that they do join and they can receive their prize money properly. Oh, Captainfisch is faster than me actually. Captainfisch has actually been very helpful today. Has reminded me about the Logos mod as well, and I see him hanging out in the chat too. So shout out to Captainfisch, becoming quite a regular of our tournaments lately. But anyway, we will get the finals ready, as well as we will get the raffle ready. Because as a reminder, for our tournaments we have a random participant raffle. So one player who has participated in our tournaments and completed a full series will be able to get $5 USD as a bonus for, you know, for taking part in these tournaments. We don't know who that will be, as once again this is random, so it can be someone who is in the finals, it can be someone who lost in round 1. So with that, we will be getting that ready, and we will see you right after this break. Get some drinks, get some snacks, and be right back. Welcome to Sea Duckling Open number 129. We are currently in the grand finals of our monthly tournament for our amateur players. This one, it used to be just Diamond and below, but now it's a bit more specific. It is 4.2k MMR and below. So a bit more specific. We decided to actually, you know, put a solid limit on the level, because Diamond can fluctuate quite a bit on servers. But anyway, we are now in the grand finals, but before we start the grand finals, we have something special to do first. So So without further ado, let us bring up our random participant raffle. For those who don't know or might have forgotten, all players who have participated in our tournaments, which means have completed at least one full series, are eligible for this random participant raffle. It doesn't matter if they are in the finals or if they have lost in the first round. All that have played are eligible for 5 extra USD, you know, in their pocket. Of course, they have to join Matcherino to be able to withdraw that money. So if you are the lucky winner of today, make sure to join the Matcherino. Because in the past, we had quite a few people who forgotten to join the Matcherino or didn't quite know how it works. So if you have any issues, then make sure to ask us, and that way you can be part of this. Anyway, without further ado, let me randomize. And let's see who is the random participant raffle winner for today. And it is, drumroll please, I don't have a drumroll, but it is ILikeTrains, also known as Llama, someone who we have featured on stream today. So shout out to Llama. Let me see if they are still in game. They are not, so we'll ping them on Discord. But yeah, ILikeTrains is the winner of the raffle for today. ILikeTrains wins the raffle. Let me type that as well. Okay, and now that we already know who the winner is, we can now go get ready for the match itself, for the grand finals. As a reminder, of course, this is a best of 5, but because this is a double elimination bracket, Captainfisch, who reached this point, oh, I was looking for what, who reached this point from the upper bracket, will be the one with 1 point advantage in this best of 5, so already starting with 1 point on the board. So Ice will have a bit more of a difficult road to get there, but everything is still possible. So with that, let me double check if our players are ready, and then we should be good to go. That was a very nice segue, Kuro. Except the players, they're not ready yet. I mean, they were ready, but they were waiting for the raffle, and now I have to double check that they are ready. It would be awkward if I just sat here and didn't get a response, you know. That would be awkward. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. But as I was mentioning in the chat, this is a standing cast actually, because I do have like the desk that you can adjust the height of, and I recommend it to everyone, especially if you are one of those people who spends a lot of time at your PC, at your desk, working on something. I can definitely recommend a desk that lets you both stand and sit, because, you know, it's important to move every now and then. And with that, we are now getting ready for the game. We are loading into Crimson Card. Court? Oh boy. We're only just beginning the finals, and my English is already failing me. It can only get better from here, huh? Anyway, we are now on Crimson Court, and we are looking at the first of our players. It is the blue Terran player from Germany. It's Captainfisch. And across the map we have our green Protoss player from All Inspiration representing Australia. It is Ice. These two players have already met today, of course. So this is a bit of a rematch. And we will see if it will be once again Captainfisch coming out on top, or Maybe if Ice can bring it back this time. Previous series was a 2-0 score for Captainfisch. Ooh, and Ice already starting cheeky, going for a proxy gateway right at that gold mineral wall. Another probe is scouting. And I actually don't think Ice has seen the barracks. Yeah, a Captainfisch did hide that barracks behind the mineral line. So, I mean, to be fair, I have to say that it's been so common for Terrans to do things like that, like, you know, hiding their barracks or like even putting them in like third base, that I cannot quite, you know, assume if Ice now thinks that there is a proxy, or if Ice thinks that you know that the Terran is just putting their barracks somewhere. Nonetheless, he is scouting for it. He's taking his probe on a bit of a trip to make sure there is nothing weird around the bases. Like, you can see the vision of Ice going around the base, making sure that there's some scouting being done there. But we have the first Zealot already out of this gateway. It was actually made from that gateway. We don't even have cybernetics core finished yet, so no warp gate. And the Zealot will be coming in to deny this SCV from... Never mind, the Zealot will be coming in to go straight for the mineral line, as there are no units here. The 2 Reapers are on the way, but they are not finished. Oh, that probe did go for a bit of a wrong neighborhood though, so has to be careful there. But that means that factory did finish. The Reapers are popping out. We have 2 of them, as this barracks was reactored. We have Cyclone on the way as well. And the Zealots are forced back. There's an Adept on the way from that gateway as well, but Captainfisch still doesn't know that this is a proxy. He's actually going across the map with the Reapers, assuming that this unit just, you know, walked all the way from the other side of the map. But that's not the case, as we have a Stalker now. And yeah, there's nothing defending this base. The Cyclone just now pops up. And it will be able to damage the Stalker, but is it enough? Oh, the SCVs actually surround the Cyclone to protect it, so the Zealots cannot get to it. But one of the Zealots does. And the Cyclone is down. The Reapers are back to help deal with this. The Stalker will be going down. Now it's just this one Zealot, but it's still quite annoying. Another Stalker reinforcing this Protoss army. I mean, calling this an army is a lot, but hey. And the Zealot finally goes down, but now there's this Stalker that Captainfisch has to deal with. And something important to keep in mind, that throughout all of this happening, as there are units dancing in the base of the Terran, Captainfisch does have more SCVs than Ice has probes. So that is something that Captainfisch definitely is going for him. He also was able to take that natural base without a delay. Despite the units being here, Ice was focused on the main base, so the CC finished just fine. And now I feel like there is enough units to stop these attacks from the Protoss. Although this is still quite close. I mean, we have 3 Reapers, we have a Cyclone, and there is more on the way. The second Cyclone just finished in the factory. Now Captainfisch is looking for that proxy. I think we'll be able to catch these Stalkers, but doesn't quite go far enough to see where the gateway is. Looks like the Reapers should be able to see it. Yeah, the Reapers find the proxy. And this location should be dealt with. In the meantime, Ice was able to take a Nexus of his own. So he's definitely, you know, not committing all the resources to that attack. Going for a Robo Bay as well. I'm curious about something. It's not that I want to request. It doesn't just show when the gateways are unpowered, right? I don't think it does. It would be an interesting thing to add, to like note somehow that the gateway is actually not functional. But I feel like it's a very niche thing. Now Captainfisch going for a counter attack. One of the Reapers already going down, but so does the Adept. There is no shield battery in this natural base, so it's just the units versus units. The probes are being pulled off the line to help with the defense, and there are quite a few Stalkers here. In the end, Captainfisch loses a Cyclone. but also kills 3 probes, so it's arguable if it's a good trade. I mean, 3 probes and 1 adept versus 1 reaper and 1 cyclone. I mean, it could be worse. The next step in the build of Ice is charge, so he will be using those gateway units for a while longer. Meanwhile, Captainfisch now working on Steam, already halfway done, and combat shields as well, and getting a lot more barracks, so this will be definitely a very bio-focused army, but there are a few tanks out already. One sieged on the high ground, the other one in the natural. You know, Ice goes for a drop. This is a Stalker drop. Not the most common of drops, but it is going across the map. At the same time, Captainfisch tries to once again poke into the base of the Protoss and finds only 1 damaged Stalker on the front. Ice is not turning back. He is committed to the drop, which means that these probes are in danger. 6 probes already going down. I somehow mixed up 6 with probes and it did not go well. But at the same time, the Stalkers are entering the base of the Terran. Ooh, the combat shield is in danger. Looks like that will be the focus of Ice. And it will not be able to finish. The Terran army is here though. And just like that, GG is called. Captainfisch will be taking game number 2-ish? That is always difficult to call because, you know. Oh, I didn't open predictions, did I? I mean, I guess I'll open them now. I need, like, you know, like people always laugh about like the little spirit from Link, like the Navi just telling me what to do. I feel like I need like something like that, being like, hey, predictions, did you do predictions? Remember to do predictions. Because otherwise I just don't remember. I'm always like just, you know, so involved with just making the lobby, making sure like that the server is correct and everything that I just forget to press the button. That happens. Anyway, it looks like our players are ready, so let's get into our next game. Now that I think about it, I wonder if that is something that J-Dove could actually do. Where like, because okay, something that I have not mentioned yet today, for predictions as well as for switching scenes on the stream, we are using some of the tools that were made by J-Dove. Exclamation mark J-Dove in the chat if you want some of his links. But yeah, he makes some neat tools for streaming, so make sure to check him out. And I wonder, since you can make a scene switcher that triggers on, you know, the game loading in the map, can you also make it like play a sound like, hey, have you made predictions? I feel like that could be a feature. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, we are now on Alcyone or Alcyone. Alcyone? Alcyon? One of those is correct. Anyway, we are looking at the base of our blue Terran player from Germany, currently up 2-0 and already only needing 1 more point to win these grand finals. It is Captainfisch. What are we going for this time? Anyway, across the map we have the opponent. We have the orange this time, Protoss player from Australia, representing all inspiration. It is Ice. Yeah, I see Ice looking at the base of Captainfisch quite intensely. I mean, he is scouting with his probe, but just looking how aggressive some of the games were before, I just scared what's coming next. But looks like nothing too aggressive so far. Captainfisch goes for a very interesting position on that barracks. Meanwhile, Ice is hiding this probe for potential proxy later. Ice did see that barracks, so there are no surprises there. And he is going for an expansion, right after the core. I thought there was something here. Oh, but interestingly enough, Captainfisch is not going for repair spares, not even for marines, he's going straight for marauders, with concussive shell no less. So that will be a strong opening there versus the Protoss, but the probe is still around and it can go in for another scout. Oh, and the first Marauder is on the ramp to stop this probe, but just the Marauder being there is already quite a tell about what's coming from the Terran up next. And we'll see how Ice is able to prepare for that, because I assume Captainfisch will be quite aggressive. We have a Stargate from our Protoss player. And two Adepts are moving across the map, right next to our Sea Duckling Open logo. The Marauders are there to greet them, as well as one Cyclone. Captainfisch ignores the shades and decides to chase the units. We'll see if this shade will finish. This shade does finish. The Cyclone does come back though. There's also a reinforcing Marauder here, so that will be helpful in the defense. And in the end, it doesn't look like the Adepts will be able to do much, and the Marauders keep marching forward. One of the Adepts did get into the main base, but is not able to get even single SCV, and is eventually being dealt with. Meanwhile, the Marauders are trying to poke at the base of the Protoss, but there is a shield battery here. So I guess what is happening right now is Captainfisch is just poking, you know, waiting for the shield battery to use up all of its energy. He can't really commit into this attack, or to this attack. The Cyclone is now here to help out as well. Shield battery overcharge is of course triggered, and we have a Phoenix showing up to help. The Marauders are starting to go down, but so do some of the Protoss units, and the shield battery is already out of energy. There is a second one though, so that is about to finish. The third one is being made too. So all in all, this is a very close defense there. Oh, the battery is actually being cancelled. I mean, I guess this one battery should be enough to hold off this small of a Terran army. And behind this, Captainfisch is double expanding. I mean, it's not exactly double expanding, he's making two command centers. One of them is in the natural location. The other one will be floated into the third base eventually. But yeah, with the attack cleaned up, it is now to, you know, progress the macro of both of our players. Captainfisch going for more of a bio army, going for tanks, getting a Liberator as well. Meanwhile, it looks like Ice is focusing on those Phoenixes. He does not stop with just one. And at the same time, he is getting a Robo. He was able to take a third base as well, as, you know, he protected his base. But ooh, there are not a lot of Marines yet, because Captainfisch was so focused on the Marauders first initially. My sentences are so funny sometimes. But anyway, the Phoenixes were able to, you know, pick a unit or two, as there was not too much anti-air. But that should change soon enough. Still, 4 Phoenixes can do some damage if they're not attended to. Especially in this main base where there's pretty much no protection whatsoever. Of Of course, there are the units that will be poking out of the production, but as it stands right now, there is pretty much nothing. So what is this Stalker skin? Does anybody know? They're very shiny. If anybody in the chat knows, let us know. So we have another squadron of phoenixes coming in. This time it looks like it will be going for a main base, but it's still undecided. Looks like mostly Ice is using it for, you know, a bit of a map control, just patrolling around, making sure that he is aware of any moves that the Terran makes. He is also starting to work on his Colossus together with the thermal lance. I'm blanking out on words, don't worry about it. We also have some air upgrades being started, or I mean halfway through already for Ice. And I do wonder if this is just for the Phoenixes or if this is already a preparation for a later air transition. This natural base is pretty well protected with the Widow Mines though, and there are more Marines now as well. So it's probably not a good location for Ice to dive into. And that said, we do have a move out from the Terran. Mostly bio with some tanks. Not a lot of Marines though. This is not a huge, like, you know, Marine army, not a huge bio ball. It's a decent army, but at the same time we have a Liberator doing some damage. Widow Mines are digging in and they will be able to target the Phoenixes. Quite a lot of them are low on health now. Looks like Ice did try to fly over the enemy to, you know, potentially get some splash damage on it, on the army. And in the end the Terran will be cleaned up, but the damage that has been done to these Phoenixes will be persisting. Like, that is a lot of hull damage, not shields. So it will be that much harder for them to dive for any attacks later. That said, I mean, Captainfisch did lose a lot in this attack. He lost 2 tanks, he lost the Liberator as well as the entire rest of the army. So, definitely not ideal there. Oh, he also lost some. He also lost some bio to Friendly Fire, which was, I assume, from that Widow Mine. And once again, the Phoenixes are dying from the top side of the map. There are no Widow Mines here anymore, and the army is out of position, so some SCVs will be going down. 4 SCVs in total going down in the end. And as this is happening, Ice is taking his 4th base. I mean, at the same time, we also have Captainfisch making his 4th CC as well, so he is planning to expand soon enough too. And we have another commitment to air for Ice. I mean, another step in the commitment to the air army, as he is going for that fleet beacon. Once again, it may be just for Phoenixes, but it may be, you know, just full-on transition to air. And this time the Phoenixes dive from the bottom side of the map, and they're able to be much more successful, getting 7 SCVs. And they are able to escape as well. So this time the harassment is going pretty nice for Ice. But we have another Terran army moving across the map. We have a 2 Colossi here, so that is something to be careful about. Oh, the Disruptor gets sniped immediately and the Nova is not able to execute. The Colossus is going down as well, 2 of them in fact, actually. And yeah, Captainfisch just rolling in, doesn't even care about the battery overcharge, and just like that, he takes the game, he takes the point, he takes the series as well, 3-0, and becomes the champion of Sea Duckling Open number 129. So with that, GG, Captainfisch takes the series, takes this 3-0. Yeah, and becomes the champion. Reflect the score on the bracket. Both players are actually complimenting each other on some, you know, on their playstyle, on some sneaky stuff they both did as well. So it's always good to see the players enjoying themselves as well, because I mean, in the end, this is why we create those tournaments, for the players to, you know, have a place to be competitive, have a place to maybe, you know, meet someone they don't know, they don't normally have a chance to play because they don't really meet on the ladder. Especially because, like here, we had an Australian versus a German player, so, you know, typically they would probably not meet each other playing on the ladder. But in a tournament like that, they can, and, you know, maybe you can find some new practice partners as well. And yeah, so with that we can take a final look at the bracket. As we saw, Captainfisch rise from the upper bracket, going straight into the finals. Meanwhile, Ice did go pretty well as well, but in the end he was in that lower bracket finals, but he still beat Tricky to get to the grand finals, where he met his nemesis once again. For those who may not know, Ice is actually a more old school player from Australia, so he's definitely, you know, coming back into form, and I do assume that he will be getting better in time. Like, I know that he, back when he was actually like actively playing, he was definitely a bit higher in rank. So I assumed in just, I don't know, if he plays consistently, I assume maybe a few months and he should be back to a pretty decent level as well. So, I mean, I'm just happy to watch these players progress and see how far they can go. Again, I've been saying this before, Captainfisch was definitely one of the favorites of this tournament, definitely someone we've been watching a lot of lately. And yeah, I'm happy to just see him progress as well. So with that is all for the Sea Duckling Open. Once again, as a reminder, once again, if you want to support this tournament, if you want to support the tournament today specifically, you can of course still do so by Matcherino. I will not be closing the Matcherino for quite a while later. So you can still do so if you so desire. But if you want to support our tournaments in general, if you want to see the next editions, if you want to see the tournaments potentially get bigger prize pools, or if you want maybe the tournaments to happen more regularly, then make sure to check out the Patreon. Patreon is how we are able to fund the prize pool for these tournaments. Currently, as you can see, we have... Let me see, actually, because I have a very small window. We are at $256 a month. And that is enough to keep our tournaments going. That is enough for Sea Duckling Open, for Masters 1 Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup, for these three tournaments to continue as they are currently. So Sparkling Tuna Cup is a monthly open tournament. Meanwhile, Sea Duckling Open and Masters 1 Open are amateur tournaments that are happening every 2 weeks. And yeah, with the level of the support we have right now, we are able to continue as they are. But if we can get more support, if we can get, you know, if the level of the monthly Patreon can go up, then we can, you know, potentially increase this prize pools. The next goal that we have is to increase the prize pool of our weekly open tournament, so we can feature $80 a week. I know that comparing to some bigger tournaments, it's still not a lot, but I mean, for a weekly, it's still pretty nice to have. So if you have some spare change that you feel like dropping, then make sure to check out the Patreon. Really, it doesn't have to be like, you know, $50. $1 is still fine. So if that's something you can spare every month, that's perfectly fine as well. Of course, for those who don't know, $5 and up on Patreon will also grant you access to all kinds of, like, you know, sub activities that we have, which is, you know, you will get access to our Discord channel for the subscribers and YouTube members, as well as those Patreons. You will get the access to replay packs as well. Basically, we treat all those, you know, more or less equally, the Twitch subscribers, the YouTube members, and the $5 and above Patreons. So if you want to be part of that, that's also available to you. You can pick which platform you want to support us on. And other than that, yeah, I'm Kuro, also known as 16 Squad Sanseki. I generally am doing things behind the scenes for CranKy Ducklings, but for these amateur tournaments I do cast. So you can hear me on this channel every 2 weeks. The next amateur tournaments we have will be in 2 weeks. It will be Masters 1 Open. However, I will say that right now on stream, if you are listening and if you are thinking about participating in Masters 1 Open, this will be a very special occasion. I mean, occasion is not the right one, but very important thing to keep in mind. Masters 1 Open in November will be on Friday, not on Saturday. It will be on Friday. The reason for that is that it is clashing for another event that we have currently planned for Saturday, so stay tuned for that. But we decided, you know, to cooperate with the organizer of the other tournament that we will be taking part in, and we decided to move our amateur tournaments one day ahead for this specific weekly, for this specific week, for this specific month. So if you are thinking about participating in Masters 1 Open, keep in mind that it will be on Friday, not on Saturday as it usually is. So again, if you are liking what you're seeing, then make sure to follow our channel here on Twitch or here on YouTube, as we are dual streaming these events. And if you are interested in following me personally, I am 16 Squad Sanseki. You can find me on Twitch, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on social medias as well, like Twitter, like Mastodon, like Blue Sky. So if you are interested, you can follow me in any of those places. I generally don't stream StarCraft. I sometimes do, but it's more rare because I'm usually busy with StarCraft, so I generally keep more my streams for something else than StarCraft. But it happens every now and then. But if you are feeling like, you know, maybe watching me play some other games, I like, you know, story kind of games. I like some RPGs. I also read everything that I'm playing. So if you are one of those people who like to put something on the second screen or put something on the computer as you are, or your phone as you are doing something else, then, you know, feel free to stick around there. As for our other streams, you should be seeing light in just less than 2 hours for the StarCraft Evolution League qualifiers for the Fall Championship. If you don't know, the StarCraft Evolution is a mod in StarCraft 2 that allows users to play StarCraft 2 races versus StarCraft 1 races. So if that is something you are interested in, then make sure to check it out. You can also participate. I don't think there are any restrictions on the tournament, so if you feel like maybe trying it out yourself, then, you know, make sure to check it out. And yeah, it will be in less than 2 hours. It's like 1 hour 40 minutes from now. So yeah, if you are interested in that, then make sure to check that out. And of course, Light will be casting that on this very channel. So if you're interested, follow the channel. And yeah, we will be seeing you then. With that, I think that is everything I had to say for the closing statement of this tournament. And I will be seeing you later. Bye.